Welcome. In today's video, we are going to walk through the Hello Smart application. This application is for creating assessments for students either virtually or in person. This is a great comparison resource to your Pear Deck, to your Nearpod, the types of applications that allow us to create live presentations and input some live assessment questions, activities, and group work. For students to be working with us as we're presenting on our screen, for them to also see it on their screen and to contribute to the class discussions. All right, so I'm really excited to show this. We're going to just do this from the very beginning, right? Let's assume we don't have any knowledge of Hello Smart. This is how we're going to start off. We're going to just go to Google, of course, and we're going to type in Hello Smart. Okay, and the first thing you'll notice is actually there's no website, Hello Smart. Our website that we're going to is smarttech.com, or the Smart Learning Suite. This is part of the Smart Technologies or the Smart Learning Suite corporation that allows us to have the smart boards, allows us to write using Smart Notebook. So if your district has this, this is a great resource for you to use. Okay. Anyone can get started for free. So we're going to click on that. Even if your district doesn't have an account, we can click on Get Started for free. Okay, and when I click here, I'm going to have the option of either signing in using Google or I'm going to sign in using Microsoft. Okay, so depending on what your school Gmail or Outlook email account is, you can definitely sign in with that. Okay, and as I said, if your district has the license, you are able to use all the resources here for free. Okay, I've signed in already, so my Gmail is up already. So we're going to click on this. I'm going to sign back into my Smart account already using my Gmail that I've logged in with. Okay, and as you'll see, I actually don't have a teacher account with this particular Gmail. I do with my school Gmail. And I'll show you some of the ways in which we can access the the full capabilities. Okay, so if I see right here, this is my main page. Okay, and as you notice here at the top, it says my name and it says my class ID. That's important because my students are going to access our Hello Smart presentations when we go live using my ID. Okay, on this feature, I can edit my class. So I could rename my class. Maybe I don't want it to be James Candela. Maybe I want my class name to be Mr. C's Classroom, right? Maybe that's an easier way for my students to access it. All right, so we're going to rename it that. We can also reset our class ID. We can edit our class banner. Okay, so if my students come in, I'll have a pre-made banner. We're not going to worry about that right now, but that's only if you wanted to really make things a little bit unique and tailored to you. Okay, right at the top, I do have my account info. And as you can see, it says that I have 30% of my data used. Okay, so in general, we can support about 10 lessons at a time. Of course, if we delete any, then we can certainly continue using it. So this is, again, this is the not the premium version. This is not the upgraded version. And if you'd like, I can click on here just to show us the pricing. And of course, depending on what we are willing to do, again, if you have a district account, then you do not have to worry about this. But if you didn't and you love the Smart Learning Suite application, it is a $59 per year option. Okay, let's go back. We're not going to worry about that right now. We could use all the features from our free account. So that's a great thing. Mainly, we're dealing with space. That's probably the only limitation that we would have with our simple non-paid subscription. Okay, as you can see, the first thing that pops up are my presentations. Okay, I can click right here and I can add an activity. We'll walk through this a little bit later on the different types of things that we can do. We can import directly. Maybe I've created some assessments already and I want to just churn this into a Smart Learning Suite application. In my specific case, I use Pear Deck a lot. So maybe I want to change my Pear Deck slides to now become the smart slides that we can use with this Hello Smart application. Okay, I can insert a lot of different options. Again, I will walk through this in our next video, but this is just, again, for us to get started with it, right? If we're going to get started with creating lessons, we're going to click on this Add Activities page. Maybe you're not that creative, or maybe you don't feel like, hey, I really don't have anything ready and I don't feel comfortable with the resources that we have. That's where we have our Explore Resources page. You can click here and there are pre-made assessments, pre-made lessons that you can walk through. You can take, you can copy, you can edit, or you can just use without any changes to it, right? So a lot of applications here can be made for ELA, for math, for any subject material. Okay, for any type of subject material, we can definitely use these pre-made slides, but specifically, it's definitely tailored towards maybe those math applications because there's so many great activities we can use. Again, we'll talk about that in our next video. I'm going to go back to the home page, and finally, I can go to training. So again, I want to get more comfortable with this, and Smart Technologies is great with sending us some awesome videos, some webinars, and just great resources for us to start building our confidence in this application. Okay, so we have the start option. We can enhance by creating things. We're going to walk through it together, but there are so many videos that I can't cover through because there's so much in this application. And if you want to revisit one of these, the training option is a great resource. Okay, so again, I can add activities. I can also delete activities. As you can see here, when I click on my, or when I scroll over my made slides, I can start it. So I can start a lesson. That's if I were ready to create with my students. I can edit it. If I want to keep changing it, we'll do some editing in the next video. Or I can share a link. I can make a copy, or I can delete it. The great thing about sharing a link is I can send this to other teachers. So maybe you work with a co-teacher. I work with my co-teacher, and we always have lessons that we want to present together that we need to be in side by side. We are creating our lessons. We're seeing the student feedback. I would definitely want to make sure that my co-teacher is on this link. So I can send this to my co-teacher. I can send this to students for them to work in a student-paced mode. Okay. And finally, maybe I want to get rid of this. So I'm going to click here and I can delete anything that I do not want to have. And I'm going to delete that one specifically. And maybe I'll delete this one as well. Okay, will show us creating in the next video. All right, and finally, there are also some slides that we can see here on getting started, and shows us some great options to create our lessons. All right, so that's our first video. This is introduction, getting started with the Smart Learning Suite. In the next video, we'll talk about creating activities either from scratch as well as uploading some activities that we've already created. Okay, stay tuned for those videos. Thanks for watching.